We must know mental health is a challenge in the modern world. And we must give it the attention it requires.
I see.
And not single out that boys are killing girls. Because then tomorrow, it will soon be girls killing boys. The first results to be announced after an election was Kisumu town. And it used to be Grace Onyango, a woman. There were tough people like Phoebe Asio. Tough.
Absolutely.
Charity Ngilu, Mother Karua, women, your daughters want to see people like those as inspiration. But if you pack parliament with the people who have been given, you are doing no good to your own grandchildren and granddaughters. They want to see that a woman can make it. Let's be fair to her and give her 4.
She has tried.
Just a mere pass. We don't want her to repeat the class.
2 points above Balala. You gave Balala 2 out of 10.
Balala is a joker.
And you're just in time for yet another edition of Business Glide here on Haman Manyora channel. My name is Richard Mwenja. As of December 2020, the Kenyan female population stood at 27.1 million, slightly over that of the male population by 1 million. Now, the Kenyan woman continues to play a big role in the success of the Big Four agenda and also the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals under the Vision 2030 umbrella. Now, what setbacks are facing the Kenyan woman, both in the public and private sector, that's in business? And going into the future, how do we cement their voice with regards to really steering the economy of Kenya and being the captains of the industry? To bring this conversation home, I'm joined by a man who needs little introduction. He's the most sought after political analyst and strategist in Kenya, as well as a renowned public scholar in Eastern and Central Africa. I'm talking about Haman Manyora. Sir, welcome on set.
Thank you. Yeah,
but you're a big person.
I'm not. I've told you repeatedly.
All right. In the previous editions, I almost succumbed to pneumonia attack. The weather was freezing cold. How is the weather today for you?
It's okay. You're a young man. Wow, you people are young these days. Why are you so weak like this?
Really?
You should learn to be strong.
I see.
Yes.
All right. I will be coming the show fully dressed like
and
I'm going
dress
to.
well, yeah. Put on a t-shirt and even a vest. Don't think you are too young for that.
All right. Today we are talking matters women empowerment in business. Now, the Kenyan woman in small and medium-sized enterprises are feeling that they're operating under a very harsh environment. You've walked past corridors in Nairobi here and you've seen how many lactating mothers are on the corridors trying to fend for their families. However, they say the government is really fighting them in terms of harsh business environment, talk of being at war with city askaris and so forth. Do you feel that the Kenyan women are remnants of nature when it comes to business operations?
You know, young people like you, you don't know what has changed in this world.
I see.
There were times a woman couldn't even open a bank account without the consent of their father, or they couldn't travel overseas. And couldn't get a passport and things like those. And many things that may sound to you very ridiculous.
I see.
So a lot has been achieved, and I think basically the woman is free to do everything. They can own land, they can own property. It wasn't like that. So the challenges that face women today are the same challenges that face men. But of course, because of being a woman, there are certain challenges that are peculiar to you, that a man may easily weather and handle, that as a woman you may not quite manage.
I see.
If it comes to the need for physical strength to run away and wrestle with city askaris if you are a hawker,
I see.
Of course we are saying a man will be better off. He can shove away a city askari and go away. And there are also culture and societal problems facing women, like
absolutely.
While a man may do business up to night, do hawking and get to the house at 10, sometimes it may be difficult for a woman to enter the house at 11.
All right.
And then you are also a mother. Those are biological restrictions on place. So there are certain things that are peculiar to women. But by and large, the problem facing businessmen in this country is not unique to women.
I see.
Yeah.
Talking about empowering women financially, we have seen Madam Racheal Ruto advance stable banking through the Joyful Women organization. Now, however, she has decried government not being willing to partner with such non-governmental organizations that are seeking to empower the Kenyan women. Is it too hard for financial institutions to partner with the government, both at devolved and national level?
It is not true.
I see.
If what you are saying she has said, then it is not true.
Why?
Government is looking for people to give money. In fact, government is looking for people to organize groups to give money.
But actually,
I know it for a fact. Government
like
is looking for young people to get to Wezo Fund, industrialization. There are so many. In fact, what are you talking about? Including NGOs that have conditional grants in the counties, and for example, through Minister of Agriculture, there is money, NORAD and what have you. You are given huge amounts of money. You are told conditional grants. This money cannot be put in other monies. You must spend it as a special pocket. And these are the conditions. One, it shall not be given to an individual. It must be a group. That group must be registered. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I find what you are saying to be the opposite of what is going on.
No, but they say the disbursement takes years to come through.
Those are challenges that do not necessarily, you cannot be used to say one group has been discriminated against. Those are just challenges that are there. We must find out. I'm telling one of the reasons which we must deal with. Even donor funding, it has tougher conditionalities than government funds. This government funds is easier to access. Donor funds are being returned every year and utilized. I know, especially in the counties.
All right.
Because you are told you must have do this. Some people even just being asked you must have a registration certificate, and it has been made so simple. It's not even the one of the state law office. It's not the one you register. Even that one has been made easy through Huduma Center.
I see.
But these ones are even registering CBOs and whatever they are called, these other things. At the county level, you just walk there and you live with it. They don't have. You are told to open even a bank account. Equity may ask you for 200. They don't. So really, how can you just give money with people who are not formally in existence? So some of these conditions are actually born out of experience. Years of money being given to people who are not formally organized has proved that that was wasted money. So demanding some conditions is right. However, they should not be excessive.
In your village, I'm sure table banking hasn't taken shape yet.
Yes.
Is it because due to inadequate financial education to these women?
No, these things, chamas are everywhere.
But they're not as regulated.
Chamas are self-regulating. They receive assistance, as a matter of fact, from NGOs, from government. As a matter of fact, you get what I'm saying?
I see.
For example, from organizations like from financial institutions like Kenya Women Finance Trust.
Yeah, KWFT.
You know, Equity Bank.
Yeah.
So there is money available to these groups. Only formal existence is what is the problem. And how to do things in a systematic, orderly way and remain formal. Do banking, keep books.
I see.
Even something as simple as just office bearers. We want to give you a loan. Who are your office bearers? Can they sign? Oh, one of them died. Oh, another one used to be in the village. Now they are in Mombasa. I know this for a fact. Simple things like those. What counties and government ought to do is to introduce what we had. We used to have things like extension workers in terms of activities that involve farming. Because a table banking group need not do only table banking. They can also tap into the resources provided for vegetable farming. You know, for those kind of things, and they will get money for those kind of things. Introduce community development of SARS that used to be there. Youth development of SARS. So that this youth development of SARS are moving around the villages and locations and training people how to form groups, how to keep books. Even KRA, they should employ many people, young people, move into the villages and locations and towns and slums to train people how to keep books. Ultimately, KRA, once it has made these things formal entities, it will get taxes. But the person who benefits most is the Mamamboga who has been trained how to keep their books. That group that has been trained how to keep their books so that they can access government funding, banking, loans from banks, support from NGOs, and then they grow, and then KRA can also reap benefits by way of taxes.
I see.
So let's not say there are people here who are not getting money.
I see.
There are people, any table banking organization, unless somebody is saying theirs has been targeted for discrimination.
All right.
Yeah.
Sticking to that context, we have seen working capital become a Herculean task for prospective women in business. And most of them are saying the lands, the families they've been married to, that's where the land belongs to, that they are sitting on. So they cannot really use the land as collateral for loan. Shouldn't, as the government, we go big on ensuring their credit guarantee schemes that will make sure we'll see them get easily accessible loans and affordable ones at that?
You know, even for men, and you can ask any bank,
Yeah.
banks are hesitant to give loans with land as collateral. Because quite more often than not, most of the land we have, first of all, is small holding. Secondly, it happens to be home. So it's not just land that you can sell as a bank. If you are selling a land that is collateral, you are also dispossessing people of their home. Because that title contains the small house and everything else where they call home. You get it? So even banks have a problem. For all people, including men, accepting land as collateral.
All right.
Because of the arrangement in this country. Land is not an entity on itself, the way you find it somewhere, which is separated from the home. The home and the land are one and the same. It becomes very tricky
All right.
to sell land and throw people on the streets, on the roads. You see. However, we need to make it easier for people to get loans. Let me tell you, in places like South Africa,
Tell me.
you just walk into a shop and walk up with something. A phone worth 100,000 shillings. You just walk into a showroom and with minimal requirements, you drive away a car. Because they have created systems and structures that can sustain lending.
All right.
And the paying of the same.
I see.
You see? So what we need to do is to develop an infrastructure for lending and borrowing.
All right.
Once you have that infrastructure in place, you just walk to a bank and get money. Not many questions. You don't need to give a title because like in South Africa, it's based on family and other things, you know. So that if you are not out of the picture, maybe you have died or you have escaped, it's easier to get somebody else step in and continue paying for the phone you took. So we need to develop an infrastructure for lending and borrowing in this country.
Absolutely. Sir, Mama Ida Odinga has for over 30 years been championing for empowering of women in the political landscape. And we are still grappling with the issue of two-thirds gender rule when it comes to political leadership. Why can't we entrust our women with this position so that even seats such as the women rep become viable and solid enough? Because as we talk, you can only write home very less about the women rep position.
You see, women are at the very least about 50% of the population. You cannot manage public affairs and keep away such a constituency. You'll be just a joker. However, it is not even in the interest of women to be given these things. It's not in their interest. For their own daughters, let their daughters and granddaughters see some form of inspiration.
I see.
When I was a young man in high school, the first results to be announced after an election was Kisumu town. And it used to be Grace Onyango, a woman. There were tough people like Phoebe Asio. Tough.
Absolutely.
Charity Ngilu, Mother Karua. Women, your daughters want to see people like those as inspiration. But if you pack parliament with the people who have been given, you are doing no good to your own grandchildren and granddaughters. They want to see that a woman can make it. It becomes an inspiration. However, if there are problems and challenges, we can deal with them. Instead of nominating women to parliament the way we have done with our county assemblies, cut us off, I think, Article 270, Article some article, I can't remember, 267, something there. Instead of that, can we borrow from other places and see how is it they manage without this proportional representation, which I also don't support? How do we manage to encourage more women, more political parties? And I've suggested, for example, we have the political parties fund. We can say a certain portion of that political party's fund, which is there by law, will go to political parties for every woman they bring from their stronghold. So that if ODM knows one woman will get them 50 million from the political parties fund, they will give at least 2, 3 nomination certificates to women as a sure bet. Then they know that's 150 million bagged already, just for example. I think there's a country, in Mozambique, that does something. We need to be innovative.
All right.
To have women come in competitively, but knowing the challenges that are associated with our nominations and the crooked manner of nominations and the rough and the theft and the bribery and the physical fights that may disadvantage women at that nomination stage, we can make it a little easier for them. But even then, only competitive women will come through.
I see.
I support that. I support women in leadership. I do not, under any circumstances, support filling parliament with women through nomination. It will not help women.
But women reps are feeling that they have been sabotaged by their county governors and leaders at the county level.
You know, I don't know why. I don't know what they want. Because women rep are not women rep. They are women MP. They were only put there because we needed only 47 in our arithmetics. You get it? Only 47. Then to add on the 290 single member constituency. So the county was used as a constituency. It didn't turn the woman into a leader of the county. So if they are competing for leadership with the governor, then they got it wrong. They are members of parliament as of right. It is only the constituency for purposes of electing them. It doesn't mean now they must operate at the county level. Even asking for money, to me, didn't make sense.
I see. Yeah. Almost to the tail of this conversation, we have seen Mama Ida Odinga, Madam Racheal Ruto, come forth and champion for rights of women. And this due to the increased sexual gender-based violence on women. And it has ripped us, potential women. Talk of the Moi University medical student who was murdered under the crimes of passion by jilted lovers, and so forth. Every day we are seeing increased killing of women on sexual grounds.
Violence of whatever nature directed at whoever is wrong. We must look at the cause of the violence. The kind you are mentioning are things to do with mainly mental health.
I see.
This country is slow in dealing with mental health. We must know mental health is a challenge in the modern world. And we must give it the attention it requires.
I see.
And not single out that boys are killing girls. Because then tomorrow, it will soon be girls killing boys. Let's deal with the problem as a mental health problem.
All right. Yeah. The very last, we have seen some traditions and norms really ripping us potential women leaders and captains of the industry. Talk of early marriages, teenage pregnancies, and some of these girls are actually becoming teen mothers just so to get money to fund their basic essentials, sanitary toilets, and so forth. How do we critically address this concern?
It's not even a woman issue. It's not for the girl's child.
I see.
This is a Kenyan problem. The economy is not performing. So once you get the economy moving, and the economy is not going to get moving with the wrong politics. So you get the politics right. And that's why I supported BBI as an idea myself. Let's get our politics right. Then the next level is we get our economy moving. And things will be sorted. Not for the girl, not for the boy, for Kenyans. If the economy is not doing well, while the girl is doing that thing you are saying, do you know what the boy is doing? If the boy is not doing something to get money, perhaps they are in drugs just because of hopelessness. Therefore, whichever way you look at, whichever group you look at, it's a bad thing because the economy is not performing. The economy has to perform to give hope to young people. Our education system ought to be improved to be a system that produces thinkers, people who have hope in society. We need to make things work in this country.
I see.
Yeah.
Madam Margaret Kobia, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Gender Affairs, out of 10, rank her, I mean.
Let's be fair to her and give her 4.
She has tried.
Just a mere pass. We don't want her to repeat the class.
2 points above Balala. You gave Balala 2 out of 10.
Balala is a joker. But
all right.
Because I said that about Balala because of the potential for tourism in this country, which we have not even scratched.
All right.
Yeah.
Sir, and today for Fan of the Week, we'll go all the way to Moist Bridge, Mama Joyce Kamau. That happens to be my mother. It's her birthday today on Thursday.
Happy birthday, Joyce Kamau. Happy birthday, Mama Richard.
I see.
We wish you well. and your son is doing great.
She's the #1 fan of the show. She says when you go home for the Christmas festivities, you drop by for a chicken.
I will for chicken.
All
But
right.
Kikuyus don't keep chicken, but I will.
We do.
Thank you.
We are Kikuyus in Rift Valley.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, until next time on Business Glide, my name is Richard Mwenja, but stay glued because coming up next on your screen is the Business Glide African Proverb of the Day.